When you think of Super Mario 64, what comes to mind? Is it the castle? Is it the paintings? Maybe it's Bowser? For me, it's the stars. There's 120 of these, and collecting every single one is no easy task. But when you do, you're left with a sense of adventure and achievement. I was thinking to myself, what is the best Super Mario 64 star in each Super Mario 64 course? So I pulled up a complete star list and wanted to talk about which star I thought was best in each Super Mario 64 course. Before we dive in, don't forget to drop a like and consider subscribing for more content like this. Starting with Bob-omb Battlefield. This is the first painting of the game, and each star in here feels iconic and memorable. I look at stars like Foot Race with Whomp the Quick and the 8 red coin star, and find it almost difficult to pick a favorite. Because of course, Big Bob-omb on the summit is my favorite star in the course. Not only is this the first objective in the game, it feels like a boss fight. And to come into a game, jump into a painting, and immediately go toe to toe with this guy feels fun, memorable, he's funny looking, and it's not too hard. You grab this guy, you throw him 3 times, you're rewarded with the star. And it really sets a tone for the rest of the game. I always enjoy launching a new file and collecting this star. I just couldn't see myself picking a different star for this course. And then we've got Whomp's Fortress. This is a really easy course because none of the stars are particularly difficult. Even the 100 coin star is really easy because they're everywhere. Fall onto the caged island is an absolute classic, and to the top of Whomp's Fortress is notable as well. But if I had to pick a favorite, I'd have to go chip off Whomp's block. You fight the giant Whomp, and it's pretty simple. We just ground pound on his back 3 times. But nonetheless, this thing is giant and it looks funny. Not to mention when I was really young and I realized that you could just clip straight through this thing to do the ground pound, I felt like I discovered something. And it's moments like that that build core memories about this game that stick with you forever. Next, Jolly Roger Bay. To some, aside from the music, a lot of people call this level slow-paced and not necessarily the best. I disagree. I love the water levels in Super Mario 64. I like the idea of slowing down for a second, really taking your time. I think Can the Eel Come Out to Play is a creepy yet fun star to collect, and Through the Jet Stream is notable because you don't just get to collect it right away. You have to go get the metal cap and then come back for this one. But if I had to pick a favorite, I'm going to go with the 100 coin star. Yes, in the course that's known as the notoriously hard 100 coin star because you have to collect every single coin in the course, almost. There's 104 of them. That means you have to really go everywhere in this course to collect everything you can. And anytime you promote exploration, you win me over. Next, Cool Mountain. What a great course in general. There's so many great stars. The little penguin lost, super fun, rewarding the penguin to its mother. Of course, slip sliding away shows you that there's more than one slide in the game. But the big penguin race is easily the best star in this course. This one didn't even take me 2 seconds to think about. I absolutely love this star and it's one of my favorite stars in the game in general. It's a little bit difficult, but very rewarding when you finally complete it. Next, we come to Big Boo's Haunt. This is my favorite course in the entire game. But with that said, it's not hard for me to pick a favorite. But before I do, I want to say that Seek the Red Coins is great because, again, promoting exploration in a really big course. I almost wish they were even more spread out. And ride the Big Boo's merry-go-round, super fun, and you really get your hand in combat as you gotta face a whole bunch of boos. But the best star in the course is absolutely gotta be Go on a Ghost Hunt. This one's great because you're entering all sorts of different rooms finding these little ghosts to eventually take on the Big Boo. And though this star isn't particularly difficult, it's just always been the star that connected with me the most. I absolutely love it. Next, Hazy Maze Cave. And I'm not particularly a fan of this course. To me, it's too big, it's unsettling, there's a lot going on. I do think Swimming Beast in the Cavern's pretty cool, because you've got this giant Lapras looking thing called Dory, and navigating the toxic maze is difficult, and I always do enjoy a challenge. But if I had to pick a favorite, I'd have to pick Watch for Rolling Rocks. Though this is one of the course's simpler stars, I remember having no idea how to find this when I was younger. And I always tried to avoid looking things up unless I absolutely had to. And besides, back then I was really young. It wasn't as simple as just going on YouTube and searching it. So I remember when I first figured this one out, my brother actually showed me and I thought it was absolutely amazing. So it has a fond memory for me and that's why it's my favorite in Hazy Maze Cave. Next, Lethal Lava Land. Though Lethal Lava Land in general is a great course, it has a great atmosphere and cool environment. It's got the creepy painting and all that. I think the bullies are a bit difficult. Not too difficult to say that they're bad, but they're certainly memorable, and Red Hot Log Rolling just became too simple when you realize you could just long jump and use the lava to collect this one. If I had to pick a favorite, I'm going to say Elevator Tour in the Volcano. And the reason is, this one takes the most amount of patience and effort. And again, anytime there's some difficulty added into the star, it really stands out to me. Next, Shifting Sandland. Again, another great course full of great stars. I immediately think of shining atop of the pyramid, which is cool because this pyramid isn't just something to look at, but something you actually interact with. And then what about inside the ancient pyramid, where you actually get to go in this thing and travel all the way to the top to collect another star? But the best has absolutely gotta be standing tall on the 4 pillars. Because it's not just as simple as standing tall on the 4 pillars. Once you do, you get to have a boss fight. The one, the only, IROC. It's not too difficult, but this is really cool. And this boss for some reason just stands out as different from the other bosses in the game. I just couldn't imagine picking any other star but this one. Next, Dire Docks. One flaw I will say about Dire Docks is there's a lot of copy and paste. It feels a lot like Jolly Roger Bay, yet there are differences at the same time. I'm looking at the list here, and the first one that catches my eye is the Mana Raise Reward. I personally don't like the star. Though I like a challenge, I find this one to be so difficult because if you mess up even a little bit, you have to completely start over. And I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just not good at this one. And then pole jumping for red coins. It's really cool because this one tests your patience, and if you mess up, you gotta come all the way back up to try again. Through the Jet Stream is definitely the coolest star in my opinion, because you get to utilize something that you don't do very much in this game, using more than one cap. You can use the vanishing cap and the metal cap at the same time to go underwater and go through this thing. I mean, how cool is that? Definitely one of the best stars ever, just because of that. And then we got Snowman's Land. A lot of easy stars here. I mean, Snowman's big head is super memorable. And then of course Chill with the Bully feels like another boss fight. And I love going into the igloo. But my favorite star in this course is absolutely gotta be Shell Shredding for 8 red coins. I think it's super cool that you have to find this block with a shell that allows you to explore part of the course you otherwise couldn't because it's too steep for Mario's standard. But with the shell it's no problem. Then after collecting these coins, you get to traverse the rest of the course and collect the rest to finally collect the star. I love the idea and the concept, and this one has always been a favorite of mine. Next we got Wet Dry World. Looking at the list here, I see Quick Race through downtown and going to town for the red coins. The fact that this course has what feels to be a second course within a course not only feels creepy, because it's interesting to be in this underwater world with a city in the background going underwater to another world in a place that doesn't feel like it makes a whole lot of sense. But my favorite star in this course has always been, surprisingly, the Shocking Arrow Lifts. It's such a simple star, but again, memories create feelings, and this is one of the first stars I ever collected in the game period. I remember being really little, my brother was playing the game, and he let me play and he happened to be in Wet Dry World. And he coached me through collecting this one. So whenever I collect this star, I remember that moment, and though it's for a personal reason, I still think that counts. Because at the end of the day, if you're not feeling something while playing this game, why are you even playing it? And then we've got Tall Mountain. This course can be a little bit frustrating at times, as there's a long way to travel. I look at Mystery of the Monkey Cage, and I think about how easy it is to fall off the course while trying to collect that one. And then Blast of the Lonely Mushroom. This one's really cool because there's a super easy skip, where you can just jump straight over to the mushroom without even having to blast to it. But, of course, I think this one is easy to guess. Mysterious Mountain Slide is my favorite star in this course. In my opinion, this is the best slide in the game. It's faster, it's harder to navigate, easier to fall. There's that dead end that can easily throw you off, especially if you don't know that it's coming. And though there is a skip that you can do to completely avoid having to even go down the slide to collect the star, I don't know why you would, because the slide is super fun to do in the first place. Then we got Tiny Huge Island. This course is full of really good stars. I mean, Pluck the Piranha Flower is really cool because you're battling these giant piranha flowers. And Rematch with Coop the Quick is one of my favorite stars in the entire game. But you know, looking at this list, I think Make Wiggler Squirm is going to be my pick for my favorite star. First of all, again, we got another boss fight. But this one is funny because the dialogue that comes with this battle is really funny, and I used to crack up a whole lot as a kid just reading how mad he gets for you stomping on him. But again, you gotta do what we gotta do to collect the star, right? So it's nothing personal. Tiny Huge Island's a pretty cool course in general with the whole Tiny Huge concept. And I like how the stars seem pretty split between being tiny or huge to collect them. Next, we got Tick-Tock Clock. So none of the stars here are particularly hard. It's just a matter of patience and progression. It seems that the stars are evenly distributed throughout the course and almost like checkpoints. Like, look, you made it to a new spot, here's another star. With that said, it is really easy to jump and miss, and you're falling all the way to the beginning, or maybe completely out of the course. So if you make it almost all the way to the top and you fall all the way down, yeah, that can get to you. But the coolest thing about this course in general is the fact that you have some influence on how the course is run. Going in at different times leads to different experiences. And for that reason, Stop Time for red coins is my favorite star. Because if you didn't know about that, collecting the 8 red coins feels almost impossible, until one day you go in at the right time and time stopped and you realize, wow, this star is actually really easy to collect, so it's super fun and rewarding. And then lastly, the final course in the game, Rainbow Ride. In general, I would say I like Rainbow Ride. However, it looks like the developers just took random stuff and put it places. It feels almost like a Super Mario Maker, but Super Mario 64 world builder kind of thing. Cruiser Crossing the Rainbow is one of the most iconic stars in the game, period. Riding the carpet is just memorable, and overall it's considered to be pretty difficult. With that said, the most difficult star that seems unanimously agreed upon is the 100 coin star. And you know what, it is a little difficult because you've got to go so many different places, and you always have the risk of falling just hanging right over your shoulder. With that said, I love the challenge that brings. When you wall kick correctly to collect all these blue coins, you feel absolutely goated. Or maybe that's just me, but nonetheless, I love the opportunity to try to get this one. And when you do, you can give yourself a huge sigh of relief. And that's it. That's my favorite star in all 15 Super Mario 64 courses. I know there's a bunch of secret stars throughout the castle, but for the sake of this video, I just wanted to talk about the ones in the actual courses. With that said, I'd love to hear in the comments which star is your favorite in each course. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch the video. You have a great rest of your day.